Channel 4 News begins right now with a local breaking news alert.
And that local breaking news is on the west side, where a young girl is dead this evening. She was hit and killed by a vehicle while crossing Normandy Boulevard. We're going to have a live report on that tragic story in just a moment. But first, storms are firing up in Clay County and on the west side right now.
The rainy weather follows the hottest day of the year so far. Let's go to John Gahn to find out where the storms are moving next. John?
Parts of the town got to 97 degrees in the last 2 hours, so it's not surprising to literally see the skies erupt over parts of the area as well. Here's Duval County. There's downtown 95. A developing thunderstorm right over San Marco. Another one across the river. This is right near Ortega. This one will build out towards Normandy. It's very important to understand where that accident occurred, that tragedy. They will be getting a very intense thunderstorm there momentarily. Middleburg's been getting, we've been getting reports from Middleburg about some hail there. These storms producing hail up to about a ½ inch in size over the last 15-20 minutes or so. That's the reason why we have a severe thunderstorm warning in effect for Clay County at this moment. I want to slide this around so you can see how this storm is developing. It is basically developing over the same location that it has been over for the last 20-30 minutes or so. And what will likely happen is that this storm will continue to very slowly move on off towards the north, ever so slowly. So I anticipate what will happen next is that this storm will end up just on the west side, and as it continues to move on off towards the north over the next hour or so, that's where we're going to find the heaviest of rainfall. So anywhere on the west side, I think any of these locations will likely see the intense part of this storm develop over them. Doesn't guarantee you're going to see hail. Gusty winds, lots of lightning, heavy downpours. Again, a drifter, a very slow-moving storm right now. We'll have a better look at the storm in just a few moments, but the bottom line is the west side will be the first side to see the storms. There'll be other areas seeing big storms as well. Much more to come. Tark?
All right, John, we'll be looking for that. Thank you. Now back to our local breaking news alert. Troopers with the Florida Highway Patrol tell us that a child was crossing the road with her father when she was struck and killed.
Now most of Normandy Boulevard is closed to traffic as police investigate. Channel 4's Marcus White live on the scene with us and has more on this local breaking news alert. Marcus?
Well, hi there, Joy. Very active scene here behind me. As you can see, authorities still have a large area blocked off as they continue to investigate the scene. But we did have several people come up to us and ask us exactly what happened here. And we just got an update probably about 2 minutes ago. And we do understand that a 5-year-old girl has died. We understand that she was taken to Shands and then later she died. So really a lot of people just sat here. Now, we are learning right now that the driver of a Nissan Altima is being questioned here. And she actually happens to be the woman in this red shirt right here that we're learning. We are learning that she is cooperating with authorities right now. Now, authorities with the Florida Highway Patrol just told us that they are learning more about what caused this accident. They say that a father and his 2 children were crossing the street. They say that they were not at a crosswalk, but they do say that that 5-year-old girl, Ava May, happened to walk just ahead of her father in this situation, and that caused this deadly accident here. Now, authorities do say the driver of that Nissan Altima is cooperating. They say that they've been questioning her, and they also do say that it doesn't appear that there's going to be any charges filed. They say that it doesn't appear that speed was involved in this crash, but because of what's happening here, you can see a lot of lanes shut down right now. The eastbound lanes of Normandy Boulevard shut down, also shut down right now. One westbound lane of Normandy at Hammond closed right now. So again, we do know a 5-year-old Ava May killed in this accident here. The FHP involved in this investigation. There's no word on when these roads will reopen. Marcus White, Channel 4, the local station.
Now to a health alert in Duval County. Health officials are warning families that a mosquito-borne illness called chikungunya, also known as Chick V, is now in Jacksonville. They say a 49-year-old woman became infected as she was traveling out of the country. Channel 4's Ashley Harding now joins us live from the mosquito control with more on this health alert. Ashley?
Yes, Tarek, this is a disease that is spread from infected mosquitoes. So if a person becomes infected with it and then they're bitten by a mosquito, that mosquito can then spread it. So the real goal here today is to not get bitten. And one of the best ways to do that is to use insect repellent. That can include DEET or DEET-free mixture here. And actually, I feel like I'm getting bitten by a mosquito as we speak. But there are some other things that you can do besides wearing repellent. That includes having your window screens checked for holes and repaired. Apparently, this keeps the mosquitoes from flying into your house, and a fan placed near the door blowing out can also help. You also should check for standing water and items around your yard. Apparently, it only takes a small amount of water for a mosquito larva to grow into an adult. Now, I want to talk to you about some symptoms of this particular disease, CHIKV. That includes an onset of high fever, plus severe joint pain in the arms and legs, headache, muscle pain, back pain, and rash. Now, we did talk to the head of mosquito control.
Thus far, it is a mosquito-borne disease that is not endemic to Florida or elsewhere in the United States. But because Florida has so many people traveling from other countries, we need to be cautious and we need to be on guard. And fortunately, we continue to work very closely with the local health department.
And you're going to laugh at me. I was having some trouble speaking there because a bug had actually managed to fly into my mouth. So probably not a mosquito, but they're all around here. It's a good reminder. You need to be careful. Wear this and also cover up. I know it's hot out there, but wear long sleeve, long pants if you can. It's the best way to protect yourself. The city also says if you have more questions, need some more information, you can call them at 630-2489 to learn more about what you can do to protect yourself and your family. Reporting live, I'm Ashley Harding, Channel 4, the local station.
Ashley, cool as a cucumber. We didn't even notice. Thanks, Ashley. Well, we are following a crime alert in Nassau County. Tonight, deputies in Callahan say they're looking for two men who broke into a house, shot one man, and then tried to rob his mother. It happened early this morning, and police say it may be linked to another home invasion robbery. Channel 4's Jim Piggott joining us now live in Nassau County. Jim, first of all, the man who was shot, do we know about his condition?
Well, he is in serious condition. His name is Damian Wright. He's in a Jacksonville hospital right now. Underwent surgery. Will have to undergo surgery once more, we're told. But it happened right back here in this mobile home around 3:15 this morning while other family members were inside sleeping. Craig Busby says he wasn't aware what was happening when he heard a noise that woke him up.
Then in the next few minutes, I heard his footsteps run out. And so I opened the door and I said, "Hey, Mom, what's going on? What's going on?" She said, "Someone's just tried to rob us with a gun." And I'm like, "What?" And then my brother comes stumbling out of the back room with a gunshot wound.
Busby says his brother Damian Wright was shot in the stomach by the robbers at their home on Arlene Road. According to police, the suspects were wearing pantyhose over their faces. One was about 5 foot tall with dreadlocks, the other 6'2" or 6'3".
My mom saw the mess guy because he was a short dude that came, once Mama was disturbed, he came to her and pushed her back in the room and told her to be quiet and demanded for money.
Because of the description of the suspects, detectives believe they may have been involved in a similar case from March, which occurred one street over on Whitfield Road.
About 3 months earlier, there was a similar case that happened. All this involved a knife, but it was two black males, similar description. Don't know if they're related or not, but we're certainly looking for some information. If anyone out there knows some, please give us a call.
That's a question I was asking Damian Wright's brother. If they recognized any of these people that were involved, they didn't, but they believe that police know. And police detectives in this case, they're still investigating. We're live in Nassau County. Jim Piggott, Channel 4, the local station.
A 16-year-old convicted felon is in the Duval County Jail tonight, facing charges for allegedly shooting a 12-year-old boy in the leg. That's according to Jacksonville police. They say Josie Lewis shot Odell Jones in the leg outside Jones' home on Prospect Street. That's in northwest Jacksonville. Police say the shooting was intentional. Lewis's charges include aggravated battery, discharging a firearm in public, and possession of a firearm by a convicted felon. Jones' mother took him to UF Health Jacksonville yesterday after that shooting. He is now on pain medication and resting at home. Coming up at 6, we hear from Jones and his mother about that shooting.
Well, the threat of no water taxis is now over, and tomorrow 2 new boats are going to help transport people downtown after the company running the vessels did not reach a deal with the city.
Now, if you plan on going to any of the many downtown events this weekend, the water taxi is a great way to get there. Channel 4's Haley Winslow has more on the current company's last day in the River City.
This boat's pretty empty, but the crew says it's seen 15 times as many people on board today, taking advantage of the free rides the company Harbor Care is offering on its last day of service. If you missed the boat, no need to worry. It will be returning Saturday with the city at the helm.
It's a service that's supported the downtown waterfront for 25 years, and it would just be a terrible shame if that were to stop for any reason. Thankfully, they found a way to continue the service, and it will greatly benefit the downtown area.
Harbor Care out of Baltimore has been running the water taxi over the last year, but couldn't come to terms with the city on a long-term contract. So at the 11th hour, Jacksonville city leaders decided to buy 2 pontoon boats from down south to avoid an interruption in service.
The sun views in the city that you get to see, like if you have relatives to come down, it's good, something to show them. So it just gives you a slow motion of beautiful Jacksonville, Florida.
It's also a convenient way to get to a downtown exploding with upcoming events. On Saturday, fireworks, the big USA versus Nigeria soccer match, and Suns and Sharks games. Next weekend, Country Superfest, and around the corner, 4th of July and Jaguars preseason.
And we've spent a little over $300,000 for the next 2 weekends to promote Jacksonville. The hotels also, keep in mind, they market Jacksonville and use the water taxes as a way to getting around.
What I really have a question mark about right now is where the dollar's going to come from.
The cost of the boats is about $330,000, and there's no definitive answer on where that money is coming from.
If we're going to make such a large purchase and buy these vessels, then we need to make sure that we have the money available to do that.
The city says it has resources in place to run the boats that are supposed to be in the water and ready for business Saturday at 11 a.m.
I'm glad to see that the city has found a way to save the water taxi.
The city says it plans to keep things pretty much the same as what they were for now. That means the same stops, the Friendship Fountain, the landing, Everbank Field, and prices should be about the same as well. That's $6 round trip and $4 one way. On the water taxi in downtown Jacksonville, Haley Winslow, Channel 4, the local station.
Well, it is a day that has changed history. Now, leaders and veterans across the world are pausing to commemorate D-Day.
Ahead, the words President Obama shared in France today to honor our fallen heroes.
I'm Sam Kavaris, live at the stadium where the U.S. national team is getting ready to start their first practice inside the stadium. They've been here all week, and we'll hear from one of the star players and the head coach, Jurgen Klinsmann, coming up right after the break.
And we're back with a live look at this scene on Normandy Boulevard where a 5-year-old girl was struck and killed by a car, presumably that car that you see there on the tow truck. The young girl was just walking across the street and darted ahead. She was with her father. When she was struck and killed, she was taken to the hospital where she died. We're going to continue to follow this story throughout the evening. Right now, some lanes are closed on Normandy Boulevard. You see that one of the lanes is open, but investigators with quite a bit of work to do, and just a terrible story on the last day of school in our area.
Well, it is the final chance to catch Team USA before they head to Brazil for the World Cup. Tomorrow, the team will face Nigeria for a friendly soccer match at Everbank Field.
Well, this is an event that's expected to draw huge crowds, and the team is now practicing, getting ready for the big game. Channel 4 Sports Director Sam Kavaris is joining us now live from Everbank. And Sam, I guess the question on everyone's mind, how's the team looking?
Well, you know, everybody says that if there are 23 players better than Landon Donovan, we have a chance to win the World Cup. So we'll see. But obviously, the team is going through some very sports-specific warm-ups here. You can see their head trainer out there in the middle, and they're going through some very sports-specific soccer, or football as they call it internationally, warm-ups. A lot of media around, a lot of fans here as well. And then you can also see that the field is already set up for the U.S. practice with some defenders, so-called, in place already, and some cones out there. And on the far end, you can see the keepers who are working out. And then if you keep going, you can see much of the crowd that is already here. It is free, but you have to park on the east side of the stadium, and they do let you walk in. They'll be here from 5 to about 6:30. The national team, of course, warming up today, preparing for tomorrow night's game against Nigeria at 6 o'clock, one of the many big events that are going on here in Jacksonville tomorrow. But this is the biggest. As you mentioned, 44,000 was the record set by us back in 2012 when Scotland was here, and they've sold more than 50,000 tickets for this game tomorrow night, so this will be a record crowd. To see Tim Howard play in his 100th game, get his 100th cap as a member of the U.S. team, and to see and experience what this team is going to go through right before they head to Brazil.
It's special. That's probably an understatement. You know, it's not really about the single game so much as you look back on the other 99 and It's a proud moment for myself and my family. I'm excited that it's happening now during this process because just a great time for the team. Everyone's excited for the World Cup and what's to come, and I can think of no better place to do it.
It's a team full of individual talent, good players that can make a difference any second in a game. So it will challenge us.
You know, what's interesting is that having talked to the players all week long, whether it's Tim Howard or Michael Bradley or Graham Zusi or any of the guys, they all specifically mention how much they like coming here. I mean, they stayed on the beach, they worked out on the beach, they worked out at UNF. There's going to be 50,000 here tomorrow. What's not to like? But we really have put ourselves on the map, particularly in the last couple of years. The U.S. national team has been coming here for 30 years, but the response that they've gotten, specifically maybe in the last 5 to 10 years, really has put us on the map for future endeavors when it comes to the U.S. national team, both men's and women's. Another live report coming up at 6 o'clock. For now, we're live at the stadium.
Helping you plan your day, Channel 4 is the weather authority.
And they're hearing thunder at the stadium. And so it goes. Tomorrow's forecast, 50,000 folks going down there to watch the big soccer match, and I'll be sitting there biting my nails just a little bit, because the point is that we are going to see, like we've seen here this afternoon.
All right, John, we'll see you then. Well, today, people around the world are remembering D-Day on its 70th anniversary. The charge of more than 156,000 Allied troops on a 50-mile stretch of coastline in northern France, June 6th, 1944. That was a turning point in the Second World War. And in Normandy, France, today, President Obama joined other European leaders to pay tribute to U.S. service members and their allies who stormed the beaches. Almost 10,000 Allied troops were killed or wounded.
The winds, the tides, the element of surprise, and above all, the audacious bet that what waited on the other side of the channel would compel men not to shrink away, but to charge ahead.
Many World War II veterans also attended today's ceremony, including some from Jacksonville. William Brewer is a Navy veteran who served during D-Day. Coming up at 5:30, we hear his story. Tarek?
All right, thanks, Joy. New numbers from the Labor Department show that the economy is on the up and up. Why this new jobs report is setting a record. Next. Now here's a preview of what's all new at 6. We continue to follow the breaking news alert on the west side. A little girl, just 5 years old, killed by a car while crossing a busy road with her father. We're going to have a live report from the scene.
I prefer him to be, locked up than dead.
Plus, the Jacksonville mother tearfully pleading for her son to turn himself into police. Why she says he's not the dangerous man that the sheriff's office claims that he is. Also, all new at 5:30, Channel 4 obtains this exclusive surveillance video of a car deliberately slamming into a Jacksonville police cruiser. Why the officer wasn't the only victim. The United States set a new record with today's job report. There are now more jobs in the country than ever before. The Labor Department says that employers added 217,000 jobs just last month. Now, that is down slightly from last April, but job gains now have averaged 234,000 in the past 3 months. Today's milestone, well, that means that nearly 5 years after the recession comes to an end, the U.S. has finally regained all the jobs lost in the downturn. But still, some say that that is hardly any reason to celebrate. The population has grown nearly 7% since then. Now let's take a look at how the stock market reacted to the jobs report today. The Dow Jones up, the NASDAQ up, and the S&P 500 also up. Joy?
All right, Tarek, thanks. Folks, stay with us. There's more to come. The news continues right after the break.